I am Burton Butterfield. I'm general practice. I've not had to speak to so many people all at once before, so let's hope I get it right. I graduated from Harvard University in the city where Donald Trump lives. And I've had practice in Los Angeles for 10 years, so I have seen changes that have happened in healthcare systems, and I've seen changes that are happening in Bermuda. So far, I have not seen any changes that have been 100% positive for the patient. I've served on the Bermuda Hospital Board. I've served on the Bermuda Health Council twice. And I'm a member of the Bermuda Doctors Association. And a few years ago, I completed a 3-year study to get a Master of Public Health degree from the University of Liverpool in health management systems. So I studied health systems around the world over a 3-year period. And what has already been stated is that universal health care and unified health payer system is not one and the same. There are many countries that have universal health care, but not one of them has got it 100% correct yet. But even in this country that do have universal health care, everybody still does not have access to everything that is in the system, do not get everything that is on the table. You have universal health care that can be paid for by either unified system or multiple payer system. Bermuda does not need to make wholesale changes to a system that's been working so well. Right now, most of us have access to the best of care. You have access to secondary and tertiary care to some of the best institutions in the world, in the United States. Government has been making changes without involving the stakeholders. I have said, even before we got to this stage, we need to address the healthcare system as a whole. It's not just about taking care of the medication or specific illnesses. Government has already mentioned a definition of health care that was given out by the World Health Organization. And that definition goes back as far as the 1940s. And it has not changed, and no one has achieved it. The World Health Organization also stated that what is more important than universal health care is the social determinants of health. And for those who do not understand what that means, these are the other items that impact the health of the country. We're talking about housing, you can talk about employment, you can talk about education, and the list can go on. So unless you look at those things that are more important, you're still not going to get the health system right. Okay? There are some things that can be done that can make some changes that can impact the cost of health care. The hospital alone is over 45% of the healthcare expenditure. And I still don't know if they're monitoring things properly after giving that $300+ million. I don't know where that stands. But it's important that stakeholders get around the table. You cannot make any type of changes, and certainly not wholesale changes, without the collaboration of all the stakeholders being involved in the process. Yes, we do want universal health care. So it does not mean you can get everything, and it does not mean that it's going to come cheap. Everything in Bermuda is expensive. And if you find out that in other countries that have universal health systems, either with or without unified plans or multiple players, cost still eventually goes up. We can probably control how fast it goes up, but just like everything else in life, it's going to go up. But the patients still need to be taken care of. The major issue that we have at this particular time are the few people who have either no insurance or not enough insurance. Maybe that's all that needs to be addressed at this point in time, instead of making wholesale changes to the whole system. I've been seeing it underinsured people as long as I've been practicing. I know the challenges that they go through. And those challenges also trickle down to the other components of the health system. Let's leave the health system as it is and sit down around the table to try to address those who are disadvantaged and not able to get even primary care.
Yes.
All right, good.